Alright, so I am doing another Steam Controller 2026, and this time it is versus Control. This is actually the Epic Store version of Control. I have added Epic. No, not for this game. For this game, does not have any DRM, so I just added the Control, the DirectX 12 executable, as a non-Steam game to Steam, and the overlay works. The bad thing is that I'm going to have to export, that I hope is going to work, a link to my Control setup here, which means you cannot find it directly through the in-game profile browser. You could also look at my settings that I'm going to show, and you can just mimic them in that way. But it's going to be, take a little bit more of time depending on how good you are at, doing those things, messing around with the Steam input, just for a highlight of that. I'm also hoping this is another thing I'm just trying for myself. I'm playing Control in HDR, and I have a non-HDR monitor here, and I'm just going to see if the HDR thing and everything is working correctly with one monitor in HDR for me playing and one which is not HDR for like monitoring stuff. But the final upload should also be HDR here for you guys. I definitely need to try this another time to play a game in HDR and record it in SDR to see how that looks. But that is not really important, right? So let's just get into it here. I'm going to try, if I think it should be possible, to add a link in the description to my configuration, so you can just go and grab that, and you don't have to watch the rest of the video if you don't like. But I'm going to get into a little bit of gaming. I am at, I believe, the end part of the game, and I'm just gonna play a little bit, and then I'm gonna show my setup and discuss it and talk a little bit about it. I might talk a little bit about the gameplay, but I've tried this for like an hour or something like that. Maybe it was a little bit more previously. So this is more just about the Control. And I'm gonna do this as an extra video in between my regular Let's Try. All of the keybinds are mouse and keyboard. This game is one of those unfortunate games that will not support mixed input. I try to have the left stick be joystick, and we have gyro to mouse, and it just, it's the game freezes constantly when you swap, when the game detects that you are mouse, for example, and then you move the stick and the game detects, oh, there is gamepad inputs. It freezes for like half a second, and so if you have mixed input, it's just not working at all. So mouse and keyboard only. All settings in the controls should be set to default. For my setup here, I'm using hold for sprint, but this should be able. You should be able to set just your own personal preference here. It shouldn't be any problems. Toggle on, off, toggle whatever you want to do with that. I also have toggle for the shield. Again, you should be able to have whatever you like for that. Keyboard, mouse, toggle launch. This I probably wouldn't recommend. The way that my configuration is set up, and also for the game in general, I recommend you to don't have toggle for launch on. I think this is the only one that really might not feel as good. You could make it work, but then you would need to have to swap. Let me just quickly mention that, right? Just quickly mention why. So here on R1, for example, if I just quickly press R1, the right thumb button there, it, or shoulder button, the right shoulder button. If I just tap it, I will do a melee, which is very useful in this game. And if I hold it for a very short duration of time, I will then do my launch thing there. And if you have toggle for launch, you will have to like, it will probably feel a bit weird that you would have to hold it a little bit and then it activates launch, and then you have to hold it a little bit and it will use the launch ability. So I would probably recommend here that if you want to have toggle for launch, just go in here and do this one to a long press, and then change this one to a regular press, because then you can just, if you want to do that with the toggle, you can just tap it, it will activate launch, you tap it again, it will then use launch, and if you hold it for a very short period of time, it will use the melee. So, but other than that, I don't think there's anything to mention about the controls. Everything should be, this should just be standard. So if you have modified your settings, it could be a good thing to reset them to default. That's weird, my Steam controller disconnected. And now it's not working. That's very unfortunate and has never ever happened before. Okay. Well, this is gonna be problematic. Right, I'm gonna try my best. I'm sorry, I was not expecting this. I don't... Yeah, it's connected again. Okay. That's very, very, very weird. It's the first time. It's kind of fun and interesting to see when you do these things live here, not edit. The Steam controller for some reason just disconnected, and pressing the Steam control, you know, the Steam button here did nothing. I then connected it to my USB-C cable real quickly. It connected to the controller again, and then for, you know, short period here, I unplugged the cord, and I could just turn on the Steam controller normally. And you can see I have full battery, so it shouldn't be the battery problem here in the top right there. All right, it seems to be working, so let's move on. Let's do some gaming. Well, maybe let me showcase just how my loadout are. So this is the kind of the abilities, and I've reached everything. Unfortunately, I have not been able to activate or unlock this ability, but it shouldn't be a problem because I have just crouch or C. I just have that to a normal button press on the back buttons. So it should be no problem at all with this ability. I think this is the last ability. I think I have all of the other abilities. Possess. I have evade. You know, I have like the levitate. Like all of the things here. This is the only one I haven't unlocked, but it should not be any problem whatsoever. I guess I could have reset my abilities, and then I could have cranked out to get that one. But I don't want to do that because I'm hoping that I can unlock, upgrade my charged weapon. So I don't want to spend all my material, unfortunately. Right. There we go. So I am at the mission here. Find Ati, the janitor, maintenance. And go to the ashtray maze here. You can see my missions here. I have some sub-missions I haven't really wanna dig into. I have done 15 missions with my controller here, the Steam controller 2026, and with my configuration, and no problem whatsoever. So, into the maze. I don't know if this is going to be combat. I hope so, because I want to showcase that, because that is a good fun part of this game if you are into it, and definitely a fun part with the Steam controller. So I have like a normal jump on my back button, I have crouch, those are my right back buttons, up and down there, and on the other one, the left ones, on the up I have a sprint, and I have evade. Works really nice. If I want to change weapon, well, let's save that for a little bit later. I look around left, right on the right touchpad. We have gyro on when I use the touchpad. I can aim with the left trigger. Fire is obviously the right trigger. Nothing too crazy. If I want to walk, which I never want to do, but if you guys want to walk, you just tap. You tap the right stick. It is a touch activation toggle walk here. And do that. Yeah, I don't think you can change walk to hold, right? We don't have toggle walk. No, we have for sprint, not for walk. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Yeah. So, yeah, this one. That's just a toggle. You can't make it a hold. So you just tap the right stick and you walk. It's touch activation. There is also one thing I want to mention. This game, both good and bad, right? It is actually quite good. If you want to levitate, you just hold space, which works really nice. You also have, if you use, the use button. If you hold it down, you will possess enemies, or you can also open like doors or boxes by holding it. And if you just click it, you will change weapon. Now, since I want to just very quickly change weapon. So how I did that, how I achieved that is that I added that you can click down. You can click down on the right touchpad, and then you can, that's your use normally. You can hold, you can press quickly, but I did find it a little bit finicky to get it to activate the weapon swap. So I also added use as a double tap thing. So you double tap and it swaps weapons. It's very smooth, it's very nice. I like that. So I can just double tap to swap weapons, or I can click it down to swap weapons or to activate switches, boxes, or possess enemies and stuff like that. So you can choose to double tap or just click for swapping weapons stuff. You cannot double tap to to open doors. I did not want to try to make that happen, but you have that here, this one. You might want to go in here and change double tap time up or down if it feels inconsistent for you. Right, I'm supposed to get through the maze, I do believe. Right. If you want to look at the map, you just press select button here, and the menu is escape button. I have added on the A button, we have enter key, and the B is backspace. That is to toggle in the journal. We have all of the kind of journal. We have loadout, we have asset, we have mission, collectors. All those things are on the D-pad. And you can swap left and right with the pressing the left thumb or holding the right thumb button there, left and right shoulder buttons. Press left or hold and you will go back and forward. Let's see. Oops, I wanted to showcase something here real quickly. So the A button is enter to go in and out of these. You can just press zoom with the A button. This is weird. This game has good and bad button mappings. So here you press the return here to zoom. You can also use the B button here if you want to filter. That's why I had backspace added to the B button. It's just for this menu. You can also just use, you can just use the gyro and use the right trigger to click here. But yeah, I added the backspace just for, if you want to do it that way. There we go. But let me see if I can showcase this. We go to... which one is it? Is it missions? Right here. This is so weird. So in the previous menu, you press return to zoom. In this menu, you press use to zoom. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This is for me a F up on the game developer's part. It should be the same button. It is what it is. But why I wanted to highlight this is because you press the right stick to walk, right? But you also have on the right stick, on the right stick you also have up, down, left, right. The arrow keys, because I have come across maybe 2 or 3 puzzles in the game where you have to use the arrow keys to make the puzzle works. Using WASD does nothing. And that is another F up on the game developers. Obviously, you should not have to use the keys, the arrow keys. I bet you on gamepad, you don't have a special super secret binding just for those puzzles. But for those puzzles, I did add on the right stick up, down, left, right, just for those 2-3 puzzles that I have encountered. Maybe there are more. It should obviously be working with WASD. Maybe I could have remapped. Maybe I don't need to have WASD at all mapped. Maybe you can just use the arrow keys to move and do the puzzles. Because you can walk here. You can see here, I can walk with the arrow keys, right? Just like I can with WASD. So maybe you can try it yourself. If you don't want to use the right stick for those puzzles, you want it to be feeling more natural, that you enter those puzzles and you just use the left stick as normal. You can then go here and you can change this one, right? And you go to numpad and you map it to these ones instead. It might actually work. I just kind of, it hit me now that it could probably work that way and would be a nicer addition for the Steam controller. But what I have now works and I don't want to mess it up. I don't know how to get through this maze. I wanted to showcase some combat. Maybe I have to teleport out of here. Because I have no idea how to get through this maze. I don't know if I'm supposed to get through this maze. All I know is that I am in the mission here with this one. When Jesse is blocked by the ashtray maze, a security measure guarding dimensional research. Okay, so I'm not supposed... This is another thing that I don't love about the game. Sometimes it's not super clear what you need to do or go, or, I was in a room that was marked on the map, and the mission said that this is the room you need to be, but it was actually 4 rooms away that I needed to be, with no hints whatsoever. But okay, so I need to go... Right, there we go. So I need to go... Blah, 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 blah. I need to go to maintenance sector. Okay, maintenance sector. Alright. Good, there's gonna be some combat then. Yeah, this game has been a mixed bag for me. For sure. I can see the charm, but there are some things that have been infuriating to me also. But I'm glad that I played it to this part, and I'm gonna to finish this. So, I want to point out one thing here. So, when you are aiming like this, if you click down on the right thumbstick, not the right, on the right touchpad, you will swap shoulders. And if you are not aiming, and you press down on the right trackpad, it is the use button. And, if you just press it quickly, it's swapping weapons. I find this works great for me. I don't need to swap shoulders without going into aiming. I don't need it. So I think this was the best way for me. But if you like to swapping shoulders backward and forward a lot here, maybe you need to change the configuration a little bit to accommodate that. But I like it. I aim and then I can swap shoulders. If I just walking around, it doesn't bother me which shoulder I'm looking over. So it makes perfect sense. I have one button here to just use, and then when I'm aiming, the same button just swaps backward and forward here. It's a setup that I really like. So, oh, wait a minute, let me check something. Countermeasures. Do we have some? Ooh, we have this one. Let's just remove that one, and let's do this one. So if we find blah blah blah, if something happens here, I'm not gonna go crazy for this one. Right. Fast travel maintenance. So the left trackpad is just a vertical scroll wheel here. Where do we have maintenance? Okay, here. I don't remember. Okay, that's the janitor's office. Ooh, okay, so that's the closest I can get. I guess I could have run through to fight more. So I do have my shield on the left thumb here. What button is that called? R2? L2, L1. There we go. Alright, the janitor's office. Where is that? To the left. To the left. Down here? Yes. Yes. Good, good. I'm sure we hopefully gonna get some fighting soon here. Where is that? No? Did I go in the wrong direction? So this is another thing that I don't know. This map is a little bit confusing to me, which I wish it had like a levels that you could like go through to see if I'm in the correct place or not. Is a little bit confusing to me. So sometimes I try to just run around a little bit too much because I just cannot really understand how to get to a certain place, how to get to like the janitor's office, for example.
Look alive. Director on deck.
Maybe that is just, me being bad. What? Oh, wow. Do you have to take the elevator? Yeah, I don't remember how to get to the janitor's office here. Am I on the right level, or do I need to go down one level or up one level? This is not working. What the hell? I think it got bugged by me opening the doors or something and then activating. Oh man. There you go. Which level are we on? We are on floor 3. If we check this one, is this going to take us to the janitor? But yeah, the game is really very playable here with my setup. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it then. I would like to, yeah, just maybe show some combat here real quickly or something like that. The wrong way here. I don't want to go this way. Let's just see. Let's run around. Maybe there's an enemy that will wanna get. Let me fight it, but no, there's no way. This is so wrong. I'm so confused. The map really confuses me which way to get. I've been into the janitor's office, I know that. There we go, okay. We are going the correct way now. Okay. I don't know if I had to go this way, probably not, right? Nope, definitely not. I could have just warped. Could have just warped to this one. Okay. I'm just looking to see if there's a few enemies. Oh, okay, I can't go in that. Right? There's a few enemies just... Okay, oh, there's enemies here. Good, we're gonna get some fighting here. Is the way to the janitor's office or no? Which? There we go. What? Where the hell is the office? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so you get a lot of missions here. G button is D-pad down. It is the mission, is the loadout button there. So you can just hold it. Okay, we have no weapon mods here. Right. Okay, have we searched the office? Search the janitor's office for blah blah blah. No, okay, I need to search more, I guess. But I did get new weapons. Oh, oops. Yeah, I've done that, but not finished it. Okay, so this is different. Do I have to do all of these? I might have to do all of these. That's kind of unfortunate. But again, I think this is a little bit unfortunate. Because I have this one. Search the janitor's office for information. Right. But if I have to do those side missions, that kind of is a bit... It feels weird. They should be attached to, you know, to the main mission. Maybe this will make... Okay, good. Those were just side missions. Bit confusing sometimes.
How can anyone even get out of here while the building's sealed? Let alone go on a holiday.
Follow his vision to the maintenance coolant pump. I'm guessing that is straight forward here. Some forward and then to the right, okay. Alright. Good. I wasn't sure, like sometimes these are very fuzzy to me at least. So, but so what we got from the board was just side missions that I might do sometime. Maybe. So this side mission there. Alright. Onwards with the main mission. Is this a new mission? Got research personnel. Oh right, we have this. This is weird to me that you have limited missions. That like this is like not on the main path, right? So I have to like backtrack and quickly do this mission. I don't want to do that, so I'm just not gonna. Again, I do see the charm in this game, but there's elements in this game that unfortunately isn't things I love for personal reasons. But I am happy to have played this one. I think the thing I like the least about this game is... what is it? I don't know what it's called, but you go to like the hotel. And I've done that like 3, 4, 5 times, and it feels very just boring, very repetitive, and find it very odd. I have to like pull some string or cord like 3 to 5 times, and I got stuck one time there for some weird reasons. I cannot upgrade right. Nope. Oops. I also entered...
What now?
My old enemy, the clock, is blocking the pipes. You need to deal with that.
Come on. Is this the... So we have to do these missions pretty much, right? Because he has said you have to clear the blah blah blah.
He's very clever. He's trying to sneak in.
Why not just attach this to the main mission?
Let's get cleaning, she said.
Wow. Oh, okay. I didn't know that enemy was so powerful. Hmm. Let's see. That's yeah. It's a good save point here, but that was one powerful enemy.
Mold's gotten in here too? All right. Let's get cleaning, she said.
Shit! Oh, I'm... Okay, my Steam controller disconnected again. This has never happened before. I don't understand what's happening. It was very unfortunate. Okay, so these enemies are insanely powerful here. That enemy, alright. Is it that one that's so powerful? Whoa, 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 okay. I did not see that enemy. What? Okay. I'm gonna die again. Lot of wignetting. Hello? Can I... There we go. So that enemy is just insane. Why is he not dying? Wait, are you dead now? No. No? Yes? Maybe? One motherfucking powerful enemy. Which way am I supposed to be going? That way. Maybe there is stuff down below. I don't know. Right, we have this one. That's nice, right? You press 1, you press 2, you press 3. I really dislike this part. I really do. Sometimes, I think it was one time I had to pull it like 5 times. And I pulled the string 4 times and I'm like, nothing's happening. I had pulled it like 3 times before and this stuff happened. But that time, nothing happened. So yeah, this part of the game I don't like. Alright, I don't have a weapon, so I can't do anything. This is just different puzzles. Yeah, this might be an audio puzzle, right?
Rannikkoasemilla tänään kello 11. Kotka rankki 16
Yeah, I find this part very boring, very repetitive. It's okay one time, but now like the 5th time or something like that, no thank you. I'm good without that. And this is a puzzle thing. You have to like make the rooms the same.
melkein selkeä. Yli 20. Russarö 18. Tyyntä. Pilvistä. Yli 20.
And again, it might be an audible puzzle. I don't know. I have audio, but I'm not like blasting the audio. Right, I think I did the puzzle right, so then you get the key. And then you find the door that you can open, which is which one? It used to be this one, right? Cannot press that one. Right, so I'm guessing there's more to the puzzles now. Nope, it's this one, the janitor's office. Yeah, because this is the time, right? I did this one time, and I came here, and I think I pulled this like 3-4 times. Nothing happens, so I'm just running around. And then I looked it up, and it said, oh, pull it 5 times. Like, what the I don't know. This is not for me. I don't like it at all. I prefer the main thing without this much better. I think it just let it just work with one press. Like, we don't need to press it multiple times. I don't know. It doesn't add anything but weirdness to me. Right, we don't have any ability points or anything like that. Okay. There's a lot of lore, and again, that's great if you like reading a lot of lore. I don't, so I probably missed a lot of the, the big thing of the game. Again, that's just a personal preference. It's not like a bad game or anything like that. It looks really nice in HDR. I gotta give the game that. But I'm not a huge fan of some of the... we can't destroy those, no. No. I'm not a fan of some of the ray tracing options. That makes the ground really like shimmering. Like here, I don't like the shimmering. I probably would have preferred no ray tracing, or Doom the Dark Ages ray tracing is much better. But for reference here, you can see I'm running this in 1080p pretty much on a 4K HDR 120Hz TV. HDR on, this is my HDR settings here. That is wrong, that is weird. This when I first booted the game up, it said 1500 nits. That was kind of okay. Now it's saying 3600. I don't know what's going on. It still looks good, so problem. Running the kind of high and some ultra settings. Turned ray tracing off, but I'm guessing this is an Unreal Engine using software ray tracing. But this is too demanding for me to run ray tracing on at 1080p. So on a Nvidia RTX 5070. So I'm like, I need 120 frames. I can't get that. with ray tracing on, but with ray tracing off, and even in low quality ray tracing, it has so much just noise on all of the reflections and stuff. I think this game I would have preferred it without the ray tracing, but I am a huge fan of ray tracing, but it doesn't look good here. I know that Digital Foundry had been like praising, I think, at least liking the ray tracing in this game. I don't. Again, the Doom: The Dark Ages has much more pleasing ray tracing to the eye, but this is an older game, an earlier ray traced game. Where the hell am I supposed to go here? But I have showcased quite some nice little bit of combat, I feel, here. So maybe we should try a little bit combat and then just... Then we can just discuss my Steam controller layout a little bit and then end. But I'm very happy with how the game plays with the Steam controller. I don't think I have a problem with that. But there is some big enemy down there doing something. I don't see the enemy. Let's try to... I did find out that most of the time the best way for this game is a very passive approach to the fight. Trying to snipe them, trying to get them cornered in like a hallway or something like that. Trying to go straight in kills me very quickly. So trying to snipe them and being more careful is what works best for me in combat. Maybe I haven't gotten everything down with using the shield and launch and those. But there's still enemies, there's still some combat here. Oh, that one, oh, that was stupid of me. So what am I supposed to be doing here? Bum bum bum. Those hurt a lot. Am I supposed to go down? This is where I blew things up, or am I supposed to go up? I have no clue. Where am I? Okay, I am in the Black Rock Quarry. Oh. That's an enemy over there. Right. Right, we have another save point. We have the elevator. Follow his vision. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So I think actually I think it's time to just showcase my setup here, and then I think what I need to do now is to do probably all of these, which is just weird. If that is what I need to do, these should be attached to the main mission up there. Yeah, I just don't like some of the game design choices here. I'm not a fan of. But I do like the kind of the main vibe of the game a lot. But let's just showcase my settings here, and then I'm gonna try to export my configuration and link it down below for you. Right, so I haven't been able to unlock this yet. Oh, I have. Can I upgrade this one? I like this weapon. Perfect. Let's do that. And then we have one more slot. We have... What is this? Damage while aiming. Damage projectile spread. No thank you. Rate of fire. Damage boost. Ooh. This could be a really nice, faster projectiles. Charge velocity boost. Okay. Projectile speed. Damage against armored. Oh, hey, this could be a really nice one. Let's just do that. Then we have this one. I have damage while aiming 37%. Oh my goodness. So damage while aiming 50%. We want that one. So I could probably attach this one also, but all right. We don't need that one. There we go. Can I do something? I can upgrade this one if I would have liked that. And charge is upgraded. Unlock the final mod slot. Oh, okay, you can get and increase base weapon damage. Okay, so this I only need more money. Okay, so I'm gonna save for this one, I think. And what do we need for peers? I need one more corrupted sample. Right, yeah, I like this weapon combo, so let's just showcase. Let's talk about my configuration here real quick. So, left joystick here, you can't see it, my camera is hiding it, but it's nothing special. It is just WASD. Now again, I might recommend you trying to make it, maybe if you're playing this from the beginning, try to change this one to the up and down and left and right arrow, because that is going to make 2 or 3 of the puzzles very nice, to just feel more natural. But again, I did on my, there we go, on my right joystick here, I did enable up, left, down, right, because again, there were 2 or 3 puzzles. Do you have to like use those up the arrow keys for some reason on keyboard and mouse? WASD does nothing, and it's just very weird, very strange. It is also very strange that my Steam controller's battery level just dropped 50%. Something is going on with the Steam here, in the Steam update. Alright, continuing. So if you just touch the right, you have just the walk here, toggle walk. Nothing special. Oops. What might be the biggest problem for some is obviously that I'm using all of the 4 back buttons. I love the back buttons. I see a lot of people saying that they accidentally hit them. I never do that. I see people I hate back buttons. I love them. I just highly recommend you trying your best to get into them. But you know, you're on the right back buttons, up is jump, down is toggle or slam. On the left back buttons, the up one is just the sprint key, so you know, toggle, hold, whatever you like. And on the bottom is just the evade. You might want to swap them. You know, maybe you want evade to be on the sprint key and etc. Just, you know, do what feels right for you. This works great for me. And then we have the basic thing. Obviously, left trigger is just the aiming. Multi-launch, haven't used that, so it should be working no problem, right? And the right one is just pew 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 firing. One thing that I actually might recommend you trying out is if you don't use any of the charge weapon, but you maybe use just the spin weapon and the grip weapon, it's actually could be fun to go in. Let me see. Let's go in here. Go in here and turn on repeat turbo, because with the gyro, when you just have to hold it down and continuously firing, you will get a little bit more precision. I do know that some people like to swap fire to be on the R1 button instead, you know, the shoulder buttons. You just click. But yeah, if you're only gonna use like the grip and the spin weapons, turning on repeat, hold to repeat turbo, I recommend you just trying it. It was really nice when I just had the grip one to turn that one on. See here. We have the shield on the left here, the L1, the left shoulder button. So toggle, hold, whatever you like, perfectly fine. I did discuss this previously on the R1, the right shoulder button here. Press it once, you will melee. Hold it, you will use your launch key. I like it with the hold to launch in the settings. It feels very natural. I love it. Very smooth. Select key is just a normal map, and escape key on the start button. Nothing special to talk about here. Left trackpad is just a vertical scroll wheel. If you think that the scroll wheel is going the wrong direction for you, you can go in here and change it. If you want to swipe left and right, change this to horizontal. And you could also, if you think that swiping up down is wrong for your preference, disable invert swipe direction, and it should, you know, it will be the other way around. You can also tweak the sensitivity on that if you like. And obviously what you definitely should do is go in here and configure the gyro sensitivity. And if you can't find the right balance, use the in-game sensitivity to kind of also like find the sweet spot. This is personal, you have to tweak this to your liking, the gyro sensitivity. The other ones, I haven't messed with them, but there's a lot more that you can dive into to tweak it to be even better for you. But for just easy, quick thing here, gyro sensitivity is the most important here. The same for trackpads, obviously. You should definitely go in here and tweak the sensitivity. And turn this one up to 100% if you don't like that the trackpad is only horizontal, left, right looking. You can also add a bit of smoothing if you want it to, you know, feels too jerky and stuff like that. Turn on trackball mode. I have had problems with that in the past, so I don't have that one on. Right. I think that is most of the most important things. If you turn on that you can look up and down, vertical aiming here on the right trackpad, tweak rotation degrees to your preference. That is personal for everyone. That's the most important in that menu. Again, the right touchpad here. Here we have the use key, and it just works perfectly fine, but you can see that we have a button cord, and that is when you press the left trigger, it will then change from a use key to the swap shoulder key there. And then again I have the touch double tap here on the touch, just to be the use key again, but that is just because I felt it is nice to double tap, and it activates use, and use is also swap weapons if you just quickly press it. I love that. You could, you could remove command if you think that is annoying. You can also go in here and tweak this one to be more for your preference, how quickly or slowly you need to double tap. But I really like this combination of I can press it, but if I just want to swap weapons, I just lightly double click there, double press the double touch. And then do we have anything more that's right? You have here on the directional pad, it's just, you know, up is collectibles, down is loadout. That's a good key to remember to mess with your loadout. Asset is left. I never really use that one. And the right one, D-pad right, is also good to remember. That's just a quick button to get to the missions. So down for loadout and right for missions. The rest you don't really need. And again here, the A button, enter, I think that's kind of normal thing. A button is often, you know, like start game, activate and stuff like that, so felt natural. B button you probably you don't need to use it, but you can in some, when you are in some like of the assets, or yeah, I think it is like the assets or something there, when you read missions log, just to filter different. And I think that is everything with this this controller here. Now I'm gonna try this one. That is not going to work. I think I need to do that. Right, I'm gonna change this to... Oop, I did a small tweaking. And we're gonna just... I think that is good enough. And we're gonna try to export this as a new shareable personal save. Okay. That's interesting. Don't... Okay, let's see, can I... Blah, 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 blah. Right, I'm gonna try my best to try to get this to be shareable. I'm not gonna do this on video here, but... because this is not working. This will not be shared in the control game tab, unfortunately. Right. So... Right, okay. Well, thanks you for watching here. I will try to figure out how to share this community configuration here. And then we'll see. Oh, there we go. Steam controller config. There we have the link. That should work. Right. Hopefully that is going to work. You have URL to the, I guess, a workshop URL. I'm going to write it down if you cannot see it on screen. I don't have a quick way to zoom in, unfortunately, but maybe, you know what, let's see if I can zoom it in for you if I don't manage to type it out. Let me quickly see if we can just make it bigger here. Hopefully you can read it now. Steam controller config 345809 blah 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 blah. I'm going to put that down below in a link, so don't worry about that. And let me see if I can get everything back to how it was before. There we go. And let me get this. Oh, yeah, Steam controller. Great experience. Hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free to leave a, you know, like, comment, whatever. This is extra videos. My normal thing is mostly just let's try off games, but it's been fun. gaming with the Steam controller. I'm gonna put this on a charge. There we go, hopefully. But yeah, to showcase, show a little bit of gameplay, you know, and how Steam input and stuff like that works, maybe give new ideas. So I have a nice little extra bonus video. I've been just liking showing that in some fun games. So that's gonna be it for today. And thanks for watching, have a great day, and bye for now.